Usain
What's my
Bolt
favorite topic?
versus
Usain
Tyreek
Bolt.
Hill. There you go. Dan Patrick, stirring the pot. He's proposing a 70-meter dash. Usain Bolt went on Dan Patrick's show. Not sure why he didn't try to do this on our show. Usain, if you're watching, you can always come on this podcast. You have an open invitation. But instead, he went with a lesser-known figure in this guy, Dan Patrick. And Patrick said, hey, Tyreek's really good in the 40. You're really good in the 100. Meet in the middle, 70 meters. You'll put up a gold medal. So you'll have to give Tyreek one of your gold medals if you lose. And Tyreek Hill will have to put up his Super Bowl ring. And it was funny because Bolt was being real polite because he probably, he's being Usain Bolt. He's being charming. But he should have been a little more forceful. He's like, hold on, wait. You're just giving him the victory at 40? We're just ceding that point that Tyreek Hill's going to be faster than me at 40. And then he talks about, hey, it's a little slower for me to get out of the blocks, X, Y, and Z. What do you think? Are we closer to this race happening?
No. He said, let's do it. He did the classic, like, LOL, yeah, totally. That would be cool. It's not actually something that he is going to be doing. I mean, he is getting into the back and forth with Tyreek Hill. You see this post talking about how his 40 time is faster than Tyreek Hill's 40 time. I love it. It's good viral marketing, and whatever Bolt is trying to promote, either just his own brand, maybe he's dropping a merch line eventually, but he's trying to get himself out in the public eye. He's doing all these interviews with different media outlets. He was on the Pat McAfee show recently, like a week or two ago. Now he's on Dan Patrick. Again, open invite, come on the FloTrack podcast. We'll talk about track. We won't be like, hey, you run fast. Ain't that cool? Like we'll actually get your takes on dude, it'd be cool to get Bolt to like give his like true take on like the women's 100 and what he thinks of Lane Thompson going up against Sha'Carri. Also, the fact that Lane Thompson might pull off what Bolt did by going the triple double, which would be wild. We can get into that in 2024. But anyway, back to Bolt. I think he's just being polite. He's not going to race him. He's retired. He has no desire to get in shape. Yeah. He even said it. He hates like getting in shape. He said that multiple times during his run that he hates training. I don't think he's going to like go train just for the moment to do like a viral YouTube video where he could lose and then it all of a sudden ruins his entire legacy, right? So,
well, hold on. I don't think his entire legacy. I think his legacy is pretty solid. I don't think, but he would lose. But if he lost, he would not want to lose, right?
Would it be and like
the whole track and field world would feel let down if the greatest sprinter of all time lost to a football player? It would be the DK Metcalf situation, but in reverse times 1,000 is what it would be.
I mean, it would be like if Conor McGregor would lose to Jake Paul in a UFC fight, right? All the UFC fans would be like, we can't lose to Jake Paul. Come on. Because we're seeing that right now with these like people coming into someone else's sports and being like, hey, I can beat the best of your best. But beating a retired Usain Bolt, it's not the same as beating 2016 Usain Bolt. But Bolt, he's going to live off of the resume he created forever. He's going to be, he's going to be 55 and being like, yeah, I could beat you. I mean, that's what Jordan does. Jordan says he can beat anyone one-on-one, even though Jordan probably could not beat. I mean, how many people could Jordan beat? Current NBA players could Jordan beat one-on-one?
Yeah.
I mean, if you ask Jordan, he'd probably say 90% of them. Yeah. But if you ask reality, he probably only could beat like maybe 10% of them. Because,
Bolt's having a good time in Jamaica.
Father Time does not lie. That's all I'm saying.
He's promoting a lot of products in Jamaica. He's having fun. You're right. I don't think he wants to come back and train. But he also is very cognizant of his legacy. He's a fan of American football, so I think he follows these guys and he probably hears all the chirping. And I think deep down it does bother him, just like it bothers a lot of track people when the sprinting exploits are just dismissed out of hand as, oh, well, there's 6 guys in the NFL who could run 9.8. That's not a big deal. So if I'm Tyreek Hill, though, you want this to happen because you have absolutely nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Because you go against the greatest of all time, the expectation is that you'll lose. And Bolt is retired, but I don't think a lot of people know how long he's been retired. Like I had a friend ask
Yeah.
me before the Olympics if Bolt was going to be competing at these Olympics, and the person pays kind of close attention to sports too. Not track and field, but they are into watching sports, but they had no idea because
It's
they
been
didn't
four
watch the
years.
2017 World Champ. Well, they didn't watch the World
Yeah.
Championships in 2017, and there hasn't been an Olympics. So if things go every 4 years, then you need to check back in and say, hey, is this Bolt guy going? So if I was Tyreek Hill, I'd say I'll do 100. I'll race you in 100. You don't even need to
Yeah.
move the distance down. I'll go at it in 100. Bolt, the most athletic thing we've seen him done recently, besides awesome dancing, is run this promotional 800, which wasn't very quick, obviously. And the question would be, is can he get in shape? If he could get in shape, I think it would be obviously Bolt for the win. But that's just a massive question mark of whether or not he would actually be able to get in shape for a race like this.
Here's a question. If Usain Bolt decided not to retire, do you think he could have been able to go all the way to like age 38, 39 the way Justin Gatlin is? And be
His
like,
body seemed to be breaking down, though.
yeah.
So I don't know. I mean,
Because that would be
obviously,
wild if he was like not ever bored of what he's done and be like, yeah, I'm going to go another 10 years. I'm going to go to 2024. Let's
I
do
mean,
it.
from what I gathered, he wanted to end it at 2016. That's what has been reported. But then sponsors pushed him to 2017 to do one more year. And you saw how 2017 ended up. I mean, he was really worn down by that point. I just think Bolt's talents are too many to count, right? And every athlete at this level has all these skills, or, has all these, you know, insane ability that none of us mere mortals will ever be able to touch. But one thing that other people have on him in his event that he didn't have was just the durability. Now, he countered that by being really good at knowing when to race. But there are a lot of years, remember 2015 when it looked like he was going to
Yeah.
lose and Gatlin was clicking off time after time after time and Bolt never looked great. I mean, even go back farther, 2010, he cut his season short. He lost to Tyson Gay because he had back problems back then. So staying healthy has always been an issue for him. So I don't think he was ever built to be the 38-year-old gold
Yeah.
medalist. His was, you got this window from '08 to 16, maybe stretch to 17. You got those 8 years, get everything you can. And it kind of matched his approach to the sport because, as you mentioned before, he didn't like to practice. That wasn't something that he was into. And I think he was able to meld those two things, get the most out of his ability given the small constraints they did have. Remember all those stories when Blake was on the come up and it was like Johan Blake's this insane worker in the group, and then there's also Usain Bolt, and Bolt is just the other guy. Like Bolt was the guy who was not putting in the same amount of time or intensity as Johan Blake. Those were the stories that were written back then. It is weird to think of him in that light, but you could say the same thing. David Odisha, similar thing, right? Like what if he was around for a whole other Olympic cycle?
Yeah. Well, we just haven't seen, though, like 800-meter runners, milers for that. I guess Nick Willis is kind of showing he can kind of do it. But, we have seen older sprinters, but I don't think we've
Yeah.
seen that. We haven't seen older mid distance. Once you get older, you go all the way to the marathon. Like, it'll be interesting. David Rudisha becoming a marathoner. That would be wild. But um,
Yeah.
we have seen the formula for longevity in the short sprints, not really longevity in the short distance.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just be interesting to see what he could have, I think also his dominance was kind of an excuse not to keep going because if in his sprint, in his dominant 10-year run, if it wasn't just all gold, if it was just like some bronze, some gold, some silver, like a typical really good
Yeah.
athlete like a Justin Gatlin, some bronze, some gold, some silver, then he probably would have kept going, right? Maybe kind of like Allison Felix. It wasn't like
Yeah.
just all gold every year. It was like a little bit of everything. So you want to keep going, kind of just collect and collect and collect the most decorated type thing. Whereas he's like, all right, I went 8 for 8. I'm done. Or was it 8 for 8? Yeah. I'm not sure how
Yes.
many.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying he
Yeah.
wanted to keep the record intact. and that was
Yeah, he didn't
the
want to do
motivation.
5 years of bronzes. You know, I don't
Yeah,
think he
yeah,
wanted that.
which makes sense. I just think durability was never his strong suit. He made up for it because he was so good, and it didn't ultimately matter. But and he was able to time it just right. But yeah, the loss in 17, and then the injury with the 4x1, it was a tough way to go out. But I think that was hinting at what was coming next. I was thinking back that year, who would be more likely to come back, Bolt or Ashton Eaton? Because remember he retired after the Olympics as well. And I always thought, I mean, there was those moments when Bolt was screwing with people, posting on social media, him like videos of him jogging. I just thought the trajectory of his times was pretty clear where he was going. So I always thought it would be very unlikely if he came back.
I do want to say I think Travis is gone, but
Yeah,
during the time that little montage is showing what Bolt is up to, have you seen the music video that he's in called "It's a Party"?
I haven't. I haven't seen it.
It's
Is it good?
actually a banger. I actually enjoyed the song. I thought it was gonna be like he's not singing in it. Someone else is singing in it. He's just
It's
dancing in
good.
it. But
Good.
like,
Good. Good.
if you listen to it once or two times, it's definitely a song that you listen to when you're at the beach or you're like just tubing. You know, you're drinking a seltzer or whatever with your boys. I don't know, just whatever, having a Bud Light. I don't know. Like it's a very like just chill Caribbean style music. I liked it. Check it,
Okay.
Google, YouTube. It's a Party, Usain Bolt, and then it's a banger. It's a jam.
So
I enjoyed it.
what's his affiliation with the artist?
Maybe he paid for the music video, and so he got to
Okay.
dance in it. That's what I would guess. It's on his own Vivo. Like he has his own Vivo account. Usain Bolt, like Vivo is like your artist.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it's the artist is called NJ, I think, but I
Mhm.
think they're using his name Usain Bolt to pretend like it's his song, and more people have heard of Usain Bolt than of NJ. But
Well, it
Bolt just
worked.
dances, and the song is just really good. I enjoy it. So big,
Yeah.
big, big fan of Usain Bolt's music career.